Welcome back here, 2016 NXL World Cup. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez, and the semifinals in the professional division are about to go down. It is a beautiful day here in Orlando, Florida for these matchups. Right now, Edmonton Impact is going to be taking on Houston Heat, and also Moscow Russian Legion is going to be taking on San Antonio X Factor. Nick Sloviak is also joining us up here in the broadcaster's booth. And what an important tournament. And on the line is the World Championship. We've already awarded Edmonton Impact the series title, but talking to Keith Brown in an interview before this event started during their practice session, he said, yeah, of course, we love the series title. That's great. We're proud of ourselves. Don't care right now. Want to win the World Cup. That is the most important thing. That's the challenge facing us. And they have to get through Houston Heat. These two teams, boys, they've played each other so much in the past month and a half in big-time games. Going back to the finals in the Millennium, they played each other in the first game in the prelims. They played each other at a regional event to get ready for the Millennium Series, and now they got to battle it out before they get to that. But it looks like the first point that we're going to see is going to be Moscow Red Legion and San Antonio X Factor on your screen right now.
Yeah, and X Factor coming off that 7-0 beatdown of LA Infamous earlier this morning. Definitely not what people expected to see here, but, you know, the Moscow Red Legion guys, they are playing hot right now. So is X Factor. These are probably going to be some of the two best games that we're going to see all weekend out here. At least we can hope, because, I mean, this is World Cup. We're the top four. The teams that are here fought their way in. They deserve to be here. And, you know, we want to see the superstars step up and make this a good one.
Well, Nick, a resurgent Russian Legion and X Factor, they're no strangers to World Cup final matches, as they have won this event before.
Yeah, both teams have players on there that have played. It's all of X Factor essentially has played on this platform before a couple of years ago, where they won. They beat out Edmonton Impact in the finals. On the flip side of things, you're looking at the Russian Legion. They've got Kirill Pridny, Tava Colombo, Axel Gaudin, who have played in World Championship games over in Europe, as well as Alexander Brudnikov. I got to catch up with Brudnikov actually during the break and asked him, how he was feeling going into this, and he just said focused. Those guys are ready. They've been training really hard. He's really focused, and again, it's always a pleasure to watch him play paintball and pull that scramble out. We haven't had to see him do that, where he's just been pretty much guns up, heads up, down the snake side.
Their focus has really allowed them to play pretty flawless, particularly this morning when they beat up on Damage 8-1. Mercy ruled Tampa Bay Damage. With the consistency of the starting line for these two teams, actually all four teams that are here in the semifinals, it has been the reason that they actually made it this far. When you look at Moscow Russian Legion and how, the story we've been talking about throughout the season, if you've been following us here on Go Sports, is how good their younger players are getting, but they went away from those younger players here coming into this event, and the veterans have really been stepping up. Obviously, the two Frenchmen and Axel and Colombo have played phenomenally. Sending Colombo up into that center. But Kirill Pridny stepping up, and looks like Golev going to be getting the start. So the veteran line out there right now for the Russians. And they have Kevin Klum is going to be playing against some of his teammates right here. Kevin Klum plays for the Tauntauns overseas, and now he has to play against two of his boys here in this important game. Getting right into it. Looks like on the breakout, they're going to send Colombo up to that center 50 along with Grayson Goff.
Yeah, I think is this the first time that Klum has had to play his teammates? I'm trying to think back to the matchups that we've had.
Yeah,
it might very well be. As both teams making big secondary bumps. Billy Bernaccio, though, getting clipped as he tries to make it in. And look at that move by Colombo through to take out Grayson Goff. So one body advantage now for the Russian Legion is Grayson Goff and Billy Bernaccio come off the field, and a quick move out the middle by Golev to fill that void.
Oh, and Golev gets shot. Looks like Archie clocks in over there on the Dorito side, but Biernikov is now sitting in Snake 3. He takes advantage of Billy Bernaccio walking off. Kovar fills out to the Snake side corner. He's going to mirror up with Axel Gaudin in that Snake side corner. So just 3 bodies left alive now for the Russians, 3 bodies for X Factor, and good move by Kovar to help lock up this side of the field and give X Factor a chance to go down that Dorito side with Archie.
Yeah, Bertnikov, Nick, and Tada, and he's just been so consistent. Really, he's just a consistent killer over here on the Snake side. Obviously with Axel as well, but now Malloy, he's at the Snake 3 right now.
Yeah, and I'm really interested. You can see Axel on your screen. He's shooting cross. He's got to recognize, if he looks down the tape, that Bertnikov is doing the exact same thing that he is. And it's a 2-on-1 on this side. So if Axel can switch his gun and put Mikhail Kovar in and work Bertnikov down the Snake, Burnikoff, those shots for him are going to open up big time across field on the Dorito players of X Factor, which I believe is Archie Montemayor and I think Colt Roberts, or it could be Kevin Kuma over there. So I'd like to see Britnikoff and Axel work a little bit better together. They do have a player left alive in the back centers. Is both Britnikoff and Godin are looking inside. Look at this. Godin loses a gunfight on the inside of the field to Archie Montemayor, who now streaks on to the Russian side of the field. That's going to make Britnikoff an answer, but Cole Roberts dies. Britnikoff does a little leapfrog spider move into the next snake, and here comes Michael Kovar's going to run down. Do they trade out? Ooh. No, Michael stays alive as Perini walks off, and Archie and Kovar are going to pull out the first point for X Factor.
Yeah, so the two big killers throughout this event have been Montemayor and Kovar. Montemayor a couple more kills than Kovar on the stat board, but still a phenomenal performance from those two guys. Archie did get shot a little early in a couple games in the prelims, but it didn't even matter. He was still getting kills even in those situations. So Archie, it's not a surprise to see Archie there, and Kovar a consistent presence for X Factor over the years, but really stepping his game up here at the World Cup.
Yeah, huge kill out of that back center, getting Kirill, giving Kovar the opportunity to make that move down that snake, close out that field. But here we got Edmonton Impact about to square off with Houston Heat. There you see Fedorov. I know that we had the running tally of how many World Cup finals Fedorov had been in a row, and I think it's got to be up to, I think it's 9, looking to make his maybe 10th or 11th appearance here at the World Cup Finals if they can defeat Edmonton Impact. But Edmonton Impact firing on all cylinders right now. Keith Brown, Nick Laval, Rainey Stanzak, Justin Rabikoff, and Alex Goldman. The lineup on the breakout. Goldman making it out wide on that Dorito side. Heat pulling up Greg Sewers over there with Chad George, Fedorov, Sergey.
And Mishka up at the center 50, and here comes Laval hunting. Not sure if he knows that Mishka's there, because normally when Laval knows that there's a body with him in that spot, he goes and get him. He does know he's there. Nice job by Nick. He goes down real low, but he didn't get him. So great move there, or great job of staying alive for Mishka on the attempted move by Laval. And another body drops in Chad George for Houston Heat. So body coming off. So it's 4-on-4 right now as Laval takes the walk and Chad George takes the walk. Here comes Sergey getting in the snake. On your screen, you're looking at Rainey Stanzik in the back corner bunker with Keith Brown. Yeah, and it looks like Sergey takes the ball too.
Yeah, Rainey taking a lucky bounce, and that fill out to the corner, shoots on the wire, and takes out Sergey trying to fill into the snake. So now one body advantage for Edmonton Impact. You're looking at Houston Heat there on your screen. They've got Greg Sewers in the can of death over there on the Doritos. Mishka Knezev up in the center wall. He's playing towards the Dorito side, and Konstantin Fedorov now is in the snake corner. Keith Brown fills into the snake one. He's backed up by Rainey Stanzik. And it looks like the duo of Goldman and Rabikoff over there on the Dorito side.
It's been very rare that one of those two guys has died early for Edmonton Impact.
Rabikoff has really, Todd, he's been the quiet presence over there, making smart moves and really helping his boys get down that field in front of him with Goldman.
Yeah,
just staying alive in the can of death.
Yeah.
If anyone says, Todd, you touched on that earlier, talking about these two teams, the unsung hero there being Rabikoff, just staying alive. I think he's probably played that can the best out of anybody.
Yeah, I would agree with you,
Where
Nick.
he gets there, he stays alive, shooting his gun both towards the snake side and the Dorito side to contain any attack by any team, and then getting those kills. So it looks like Alex Goldman, he's reloading. I thought he might have had some gun issues there, but no, he's up and shooting cross field towards the snake side. You can see Rainey Stanzik there over the top, trying to look into the middle of the field. He's putting pressure cross field on that can that Greg Sewers is in. Greg Sewers is going to have to get low and tight as he's got his mirror, which is Justin Rabikoff shooting heads up at him. Ref checking out Greg Sewers' leg. He's out. That's going to be a minor penalty, so that's going to pull out Fedorov. Zorro ref getting in there and Z'ing one up, and here comes Keith Brown. All he has to do is turn around and not going to have to shoot Mishka, as the point's going to be conceded by Sam Monville. Greg Sewers not happy about that call at all. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
I wouldn't be happy either if I was Greg Sewers right this second.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see him flinch. He seemed like he was pretty well hidden in that lane, but you can see the way Rainey Stanzik was playing over top of that. We had a great shot of how he was playing over top of that corner. You can just drop paint in on that can. Greg Sewers playing low and tight. Ref comes in there and looks like he found something low on Greg's leg or foot.
Keyword being found. You know, the thing is that with some of these minor penalties sometimes that players get annoyed with is, you know, well, if I had that hit there, how come you didn't see me get hit? where were you at when I got hit? That now I'm getting a penalty. And, the consistency of that, of is it a penalty or is it not a penalty, is what the refs struggle with. And, are constantly trying to talk to each other about to make sure that they're all making those consistent calls.
First body to drop is Axel. I thought Malloy, Burnikov might have caught one as well, but looks like he got in clean.
Yeah, it looked like he used the force to weave his way into that snake one, man.
Legion trying to get the point back from X Factor because of Kovar and Montemayor in that first one.
What a nice move by Vernikov. Hops over the beam as Archie Montemayor takes the walk off and gets into that snake 3. So now both teams even, 4 bodies apiece. You can see the stats there on your screen for the kills. Again, this is just the second point, so you're not going to see any huge numbers just yet, but 3 for Archie in that first point. It's not going to be effective in this one as he's already taking the walk off the field from that Dorito side.
And Colombo up in the center. Constant presence there. Archie, taking a walk, and so now 4 bodies alive for the Russians and an advantage for them because of the ground that they've taken. So quick to the punch and the first to attack. Moscow Russian Legion. Kovar still alive with Billy Bernaccia, but X Factor and the 4 players left alive for them. It's even on the body count. They're stuck in those back spots, playing on their heels right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Golov to kind of try and get out here. If he can get behind Malloy and help contend with the gun of Billy and try and get Malloy into the 50 snake.
Well, he's going to go the other way. Golev going towards the east side of the field to try to help out Peridny. Grill Peridny getting into into D2. And there is look at the 4 players from X Factor. All stuck in those back bunkers and tucked in tight, feeling a lot of pressure from the players from Colombo in the center and from Malloy. Both those players, they're not only in the far up bunkers, but gunfighting from there and putting pressure back at X Factor.
Yeah, Golev making a move out to that Dorito side corner. There you see him on your screen right there, number 14. Try and help his teammate put some paint back on the back center, as well as Kovar, who's in the snake insert looking across. There's Billy Bernaccia in the corner on the snake side, just trying to tuck in and stay alive. Kovar trying to look on the inside, trying to help him. Grayson Goff battling heads up to make sure Bierdnikov doesn't turn the corner on that snake and get farther up the field. Colombo still posted in that center wall, watching that lane right there that you just saw to the snake so that Kovar, Billy Bernaccia, doesn't try and make a quick move to get into the snake and have some better shots on that Dorito side. And also to protect Bierdnikov and give him the freedom to play out of this snake 3.
And that's what I'd say. I like that you touched on that, Todd. I think that's what Bierdnikov really needs. He needs to have that freedom to play. I think out of all this, not to say he's a wild card, but he's going to look to make something happen. Golov is making a move up there to try and work into the Doritos there with Kirill to put pressure on the weakened Dorito side of X Factor. But, if anyone's going to make a scramble and look to make a big move, it's going to be, looking at this right now, it looks to be the guys on the Dorito side for the Russians, as both Kirill and Golov are working those angles over there.
There's Billy trying to work down the wire, but Bierdnikov not really gun battling with him so much.
Tell you what, though, with how long that all of these guys have stayed alive in their spots right now, it just goes to show you how tight these teams have been playing, how tight they're playing right now, the reason why they're here. I mean, it's been 4-on-4 for a long time, and the Russians have been good field position, but X Factor refusing to break yet.
Yeah, and Kirill Peridny throwing a pod back to Golev from that Dorito 3 to Dorito 2. So.
And Grayson Goff is going to be the first one to go down. And I think Bierdnikov just popped up right over the top and shot him in the arm. That's the kill that Bierdnikov was looking for. Everybody else is focusing on that Dorito side. Only one body was looking at Bierdnikov, and he was able to come up and get the shot on the guy that was posted on him.
And Golev has really moved up far on that D side to help out Kirill, who's at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and now Bierdnikov's next target is going to be that back center.
Kevin Kuhn.
As he keeps popping up over the top. Taking
what,
pot shots at him.
What a gunfight that's going to be.
Yeah, so 2 teammates over in Europe gunfighting with each other. Kevin Klum from the Tauntauns over there, and Malloy's been playing with the Tauntauns as well. They won a tournament together this year, and now trying to fight against each other to see who's going to win this World Cup.
Yeah, and now Malloy shooting down the wire. You see how tight Billy Bernacci is in there. He's had to scramble to get back in because Malloy, Alexander Bierdnikov, is now posted on the wire, now moving into their side of the field. He's now crossed that 50-yard line. Look what a shot on Colombo from either Kovar or Bernaccia, but at the same time Kevin Coombe drops and Billy Bernaccia
and I think
gonna
Kovar
get taken out as well.
Yeah, and Kovar and Bernaccia go down in quick succession, and it's going to be another the first point for Russian Legion. We got ourselves a tie game now with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go.
Yeah, X Factor is going to want to bring Colt and Archie back together over there on that Dorito side. The best combo that they've had going down that wire. You know that the Russian Legion gunned up heavy for Archie after that first point and watching him play all weekend. But let's check in with Lauren Kelly on the sideline for a heat update.
As you see, Greg Sewers is walking on the field. He is going into this next point angry. He came off of that field last point due to a penalty, but he said it was ridiculous and a gift to Impact. So he's going into this ready for a win. Back to you guys.
So Impact up by 1. It's only 1-0 right now after that really fun point we just watched. So on the breakout, Ryan Smith goes up to the center to do battle with Nick Laval, but Chad George gets shot again along with Konstantin Fedorov. And so Chad George, who struggled early in the quarterfinal matchup, he picked it up later on as he was getting sweet spotted out. It's not really his fault, you know, I mean, they're just sweet spotting him out. Chad George was the big killer. Another body, though, is the big killer for Edmonton Impact here on the snake side. Keith Brown walks off. So kind of a bloodbath here as Sergey takes the walk, too, to start out this point. Just now it's 3-on-3, or there are 2 players left alive for
3-on-2
in
favor of Impact. Ryan Smith, though, clocking in, gets that kill on Nick Laval up at the wall, and then gets a nice shot. Gets a nice shot on Keith Brown. Unfortunately, he's the last one left, and Justin Rabikoff knows it.
Yeah, Justin was about to make Ryan Smith wear it on the backside.
Yeah,
Lucky for him, the buzzer got blown. Point was conceded.
Yeah, and it's Ryan Smith there shaking his head. It's got to be really frustrating. You go up there to get yourself 2 kills. Next, you know, you hear the buzzer conceding. You think, yeah, and you look around, and there's Justin Rabikoff behind you. And like,
it's always the worst when you're up in a far spot and everybody dies behind you, and then you just get bunkered out of nowhere. Yeah, you're in the 50 snake, and you're like, yeah, I'm good. And then all of a sudden, you're wearing it on top of the head.
Yeah, it's even worse.
You turn around, you stand up, turn around, you have no idea that none of your teammates are there.
It's even worse, too, when you're getting kills. You think that you think everything's going well.
Yeah, and we all know that look, right? Everyone's got it when they stand up. You just see that head just cocked to the side and turn, look back, and be like, you can just see the steam coming out of the ears there as we watch the breakout X Factor. Billy might have caught one in the foot. He does. He gets called out. So nice off the break shooting there by Brindikoff in the back center. Ref's going to run in there and check out Samotrov. He looks like he's clean.
Yeah, and
Grayson Goff losing a gunfight at the center. And Michael Kovar now taking the walk off.
Yeah, the Russians didn't go wide on that Dorito side. They really haven't gone wide on the Dorito side at all.
But guys, look at this though. So just as Malloy gets a penalty, which pulls off, looks like Smotrov. So it was about to be, I think, a 3-on-2 because so quick on the horn as always. Ryan Brand it might have been down to a 2-on-2. So you know, I mean, that's kind of a tough break for X Factor right there, and because Ryan had no idea that penalty was assessed. And I can understand because he was looking down, seeing 2 guys left alive against at least 4 bodies for Moscow Red Legion. So 4-on-2, you know, quick to concede that point and reset it back to 5-5. But if he had just waited a little bit longer, it would have been a totally different point.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I mean, you can see where Colt and Ryan Banner are talking, and that box there off to the right, there's the button that's right below that. So you have to walk up and out of your pit, and they have to walk to their left and then press that buzzer. So, yeah, again, unfortunately, the timing of that just didn't work. You can hear the Heat supporters getting behind them as they are down by 1 point, to Edmonton Impact. 2 points. There's the breakout for Keith. Fedorov now.
Well, that's a big move for Keith. He takes the snake off the break. And still, though, man, both these teams have their off-the-break shots dialed in as 2 bodies come off for Impact. The Houston Heat. And 2 bodies come off for Heat, so it is 3-on-3, and this is a big point for Heat.
Yeah, way better field position now.
So Keith Brown's going to come up and trade out with Konstantin Fedorov. No penalty there assessed on Keith, so a clean run. But Chad George off the chaos. He gets into Snake 2. No one in the Snake right now for Impact. Looks like Nick Laval's trying to call a kill, but he didn't shoot anybody over here.
Yeah, he missed Sergey on the fill. It's Alex Goldman, I believe, in the Dorito 3 for Impact. And Nick Laval is now going to fill out into the Snake. Insert to match up Sergey.
So all of these points have just kind of been seesaw back and forth in the gunfights and the off-the-break shots. other than that one long point we saw where it was 4-4 forever in the Russians and X Factor match.
Yeah, communication right now is going to be huge. Wow, what a shot by Nick Laval over the top on Sergey.
Oh, but then Nick gets eaten up by Chad George.
Yeah, so Chad George has just got to find, and he does. He finds Alex Goldman and just has to realize now, he had the right call for the kills, and Alex Goldman now has no idea if there's anyone in front of him.
Yeah, he put Chad George in, and then as he was running downfield, was looking in front of him as if there was another player alive on heat that he needed to deal with. But it's just a one-on-one right now, so let's see how quickly he can figure out what the situation is here. There's Goldman on your screen on the D side of the field with the pretty packed stands behind him.
Yeah, and I think both players now know that it is a one-on-one. Chad George there on your screen playing.
And Chad's got a decent amount of paint left. Wondering how much paint Goldman has, but a lot of weight on Chad George's shoulder right now as it's a 2-0 lead for Edmonton Impact, and this is the one that he needs to win, especially the longer this goes. And it looks like Alex Goldman is just going to take off, and he's going to try to hit that buzzer. We'll see if the refs call him, as he was able to hit the buzzer before Chad George was able to get that pretty long shot on him.
And that's what I was waiting for right there. So you have two players that are exceptionally fast. Who's going to make the break for it? And Alex Goldman taking the initiative there as Chad George moved further down the field to just launch himself and commit to that buzzer, and he gets it clean.
Yeah, it looked like Chad George was thinking about making that move.
But
didn't.
Well, that's the thing. You're judging quickly whether or not you're closer to the buzzer, and if you have a chance, and it's a split-second decision. Am I close enough with my speed and that guy's speed? Who is it? Oh, it's Goldman, fastest player in the league, potentially, other than Carl Markowski, even though Chad George is a speed demon himself, and he realized, oh, I just got to pull my gun up and hope I get the shot.
When Chad George went into their snake 2, and he saw Mouse shoot a stream at the 50, he should have went right then.
Absolutely.
And that's when he second-guessed himself and decided to shoot, and that's when Goldman turned, shot a stream at him, found him, and took off running. That makes a 3-0 lead for Edmonton Impact.
2-1 is the score here with 8:25 to go in this semifinal matchup. Fabrice Colombo, 6 confirmed kills for him. Billy Bernacci dies off the break. A body for Russians die too, and it is Colombo that takes the walk.
Archie Montemayor walking off the Dorito tape. He gets laid down in the break as well as Billy. So 4-on-3 in favor of the Red Legion. There are the players there on your screen for X Factor. Up there at the walls, Grayson Goff. Looks like Colt Roberts now is in the back center, and Michael Kovar in the Snake Tower. Those are the Russians on your screen. Golov gets grilled up. Not sure where that kill came from, as he was in the back center. I don't know what he was looking at. That's going to force Godin to go backwards.
Yeah.
Alexander Britnikoff in the snake corner. He has to deal with the gun of Grayson Goff, who's this way from the wall.
Colt Roberts still attacking that Dorito side, however. 3-on-3 situation we got here with Biernikov, Godin, and it looks like Kirill, Goff, Kovar, and Roberts. Kovar going to come from the tower on into Snake 1. He's going to make it in there alive. Biernikov whips a couple by his feet right by that snake. He's in there alive. Now he can protect Goff as well as keep an eye on Kirill over there. Kirill looks like he's having some gun issues right now as Kovar pounds his can of death.
Well, now X Factor able to control positions here. It's been mostly Russian Legion controlling the positions, and so now Kovar's in the snake. The reason why the score is 2-1 is because it had been Legion doing that to X Factor. Now X Factor's up in the center. They have Kovar again in the snake. See if they can score this point to tie it up. 6 minutes and 47 seconds left to go.
Alexander Biernikov out of that snake corner, still playing heads up. Godin looking at Colt Roberts. Kirill crossed up with Godin. Kirill on the switch, and there goes Colt Roberts. Right when Kirill looked the opposite way, put Godin in and made that big move. Now he's in Dorito 3.
Yeah, and
with some good spacing.
That's exactly the move that X Factor needs with Colt Roberts getting that Dorito 3. He's really going to be able to put that pressure on that can of death where Kirill's at, and with Michael Kovar shooting inside, hopefully they can pinch, well, in their case, hopefully they can pinch it out. That's going to free up Alexander Britnikoff, though, with Grayson Goff leaving the wall, and he's going to get chopped up in a retreat. I regret that decision right there.
Yeah, if he had stayed there, he might have been in position to shoot Godin on his move. Definitely Biernikov on his move, but looks like Colt Roberts takes one. He goes walking off.
Yeah, Britnikoff ecstatic about that point, pulling that one out. Just a little, mental lapse there in the coverage for X Factor. The move back by Grayson, and then Archie seeing Archie's seeing Brudnikov make that move into the snake 3, stands up a little too tall over the top and allows Krill to sneak that shot in on him.
They had position, they couldn't capitalize on it, and just like you said, just a little bit of lapse in those lanes. They dropped the lanes, those moves are made, and then losing gunfights still too. So just a little bit better right now is Russian Legion up by 2 points over X Factor. Still some time left for X Factor to get back in this match, but not a ton. So let's check in with Lauren Kelly. She has an update for Houston Heat.
Hey guys, in this point, you are going to see Justin Rabikoff shooting down the pipe to enable Alex Goldman to make a run down the Dorito side. He said that he has given up trying to kill him. So you'll see that big play made if they can make it happen. Back to you.
So I guess that's Impact update right there on the tactics they're using to try to put a 4th point on the board here.
Yeah, some decent off the break shooting there for Houston Heat. Just what they need to get back into this. They shoot Keith Brown out on the break, and they have all 5 bodies alive. Big moves. As you can see, Chad George there on your screen. Heat's out alive to the corner, and look at this. Nice pickup by Heat to take out Randy Stanzik, and a big fill out to the corner. A little too big of a bite there. Nick Laval has to come out of the back center, leaving Justin Rabikoff there. Nick Laval, though, gets shot cross field from Greg Sewers. So just 2 bodies alive for Impact, all 5 bodies alive for Heat as they're going to now start to make their press down the middle of the field. Justin Rabikoff gets grilled up, so only 1 player left alive. That's going to be Alex Goldman. I think he's in the Dorito corner or Dorito 1. And look for Impact, I'd say possibly to hit the buzzer here or just let the time run off. They do have that 3-point lead.
Yeah, I'd let the time run
Goldman's
off.
Been eliminated.
So Houston Heat fans cheering. Finally, as Houston Heat puts a point on the board to keep this one honest here. 9 minutes and 49 seconds, and we got ourselves a game. If Impact had won that point and went up 4-0, that's a pretty dominant lead. But right now, a 2-point spread here. Chad George getting checked out, and do we see it? We do see the thumbs up. So the point is good, and nice work by Chad George. Coming out to play this next one is just the starting 5. I don't think we've seen a deviation. Have you guys seen a deviation from the starting 5 for the Russians? It's Golev, Peridny, Colombo, Axel, and Birtnikov, and no reason really to pull any of those guys out.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen. Did we see Smotrov in there for any point? I know we saw Smotrov in one of the last points when they were beating the brakes off of Tampa Bay Damage.
No, not yet. It's been the same guys out there getting the job done, making smart reads, shooting people on the break, staying alive, and having some clutch points like that last one. X Factor kind of feeling the same way. The only guy that's substituted in has been Kevin Kuhlman. Here he is, back in again, going to the wall. We're going to have a French Civil War up in the middle of the field.
And look who pulls it out. It's Tava. Colombo gets the better of his teammate. And look at that, super fast concession by Coach Ryan Brand to give Legion a 3-point lead, going up 4-1 over X Factor.
Yeah, and it's do-or-die time right now for X Factor, and they've taken 2 third-place finishes in a row. Really don't want to have to be in that situation. Again, I actually got a chance to talk to the X Factor guys before the start of this game, and that was definitely weighing heavy on their mind. Had said, hey, you guys are playing really well, and they had said, yeah, we don't really care. We were tired of taking third-place finishes, and so we're really focused on this game in front of us. And yeah, they're getting a tough break of it out there as Russian Legion, which in the story developing there, and we talked about this the past couple events about how good that team was getting, and then if they keep going on that upward trajectory, they could be contending to win tournaments soon. We didn't necessarily know it was going to be this soon, but they got a chance here, man.
Well, you know, all year long we've talked about them over in Europe, right, playing well. As we've heard their names, you know, they're doing well in the lower division. They're not in the pro division yet, because you can't just stroll into that. You have to earn your way up,
And they did.
They did it. Yeah, and as we look at, yes, Houston Heat on your screen with their match stats, 5-3-2-2-2 for the kills. Chad George leading the way, as he has been all event long for Houston Heat. Even after getting diced up on the break a couple times early on, all 5 bodies alive for both squads. See Impact there on your screen, good spread. They do have Goldman over that Dorito 1. He's blocked out by the can of death. Nick Laval calling out that kill on Fedorov. He does get it, and that's going to force Sergey to head up the middle. Look for him to go up there and take out Nick Laval. Not sure if he knows that the wall is populated right now by Nick, but anytime Nick's on the field, it's a sure bet he's going to make his way up there one way or another, unless some early deaths come on your team.
Exactly. If the bodies are there, he's going to look to make that move. He does. Ooh, almost gets caught. Almost got a little flinch reaction there in the middle of the field. Good move by Sergey, come through quick. And Nick Laval get his gun up in time.
Yeah, and
trade out with him.
The one thing that's really impressive, and anytime you ever watch Sergey run through the field, and this happens with Nick Laval as well, is as soon as they confirm that they have hit that guy up there, their gun immediately switches to the next bunker and they start shooting. Not guessing where people are, they know.
So Chad George right now for Houston Heat in good position at the insert bunker, and looks like he wants to go, and he does. He makes his move up and gets into Snake 1, and it looks like Greg Sewers is coming off from that D side of the field. Yep, that is Greg. So Houston Heat now down to 2 bodies.
Yeah, I wonder, we heard from Lauren about Greg Sewers playing angry. Maybe, if anything, Greg needs to take a little bit of a break and calm down. Because very early on, we've seen him take the walk as Keith Brown makes a move into the Snake 3 and shoots crossfield immediately, trying to catch the pack of Mishka, who dives out to the Dorito corner. Looks like he made it out there clean. But look at this, Keith Brown going to come down, just murder Chad George and finish up Mishka.
At will, Keith Brown. He's been doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Matty, you're talking about all those face-offs that these teams have had. That one, I can't remember where before they went to the Millennium. Heat won the first matchup, the CPS. Heat wins the first matchup. Impact beats them in the finals. Then they go to the Millennium Series. Impact beats Heat in that really close one, that
with the controversial
nail biter.
Yeah,
right?
with the Fedorov move of the one-on-one versus Keith.
Moscow.
Then we come here. Impact Houston Heat. Impact wins first game of the event.
A 1-point game.
A 1-point game. And now we're sitting here again with Heat and Impact. Impact looking like they're getting the better of it right now, but Heat still fighting, trying to hang on, keeping it close.
Another team that needs to pick it up right now is X Factor, as it's been pretty much all Russian Legion out there dominating the pace of this game. Looks like Grayson Goff tries to run up to the stand-up can inside up that center and ends up getting shot off the break. X Factor with a conservative breakout. They don't risk Billy far at all. The only body they risked past the back line was Goff, and he got shot. Now they're stuck in that home bunker, that back center bunker.
Yeah, not wanting to give up those bodies in the break. They finally keep Archie alive over here. And he gets himself into that Dorito 1 with Colt Roberts behind him. Goff walking off with that giant face hit. Just 4 bodies left alive. Kovar and Bernaccia. Bernaccia getting shot a lot, running out wide here as well. Finally able to play some paintball. Be on his feet and look to attack the Snake, but Beardnikov's in that back center trying to keep Billy out of there. Shredding paint left and right, but still holding that lane with Golev also in that can of death. And Kirill up in the center of the field, also looking towards the Snake side. And that's going to allow Colt Roberts to bump out of the can all the way to the Snake side corner. Archie Montemayor tries to make a big move up 2 Doritos, and he gets clipped.
Yeah, that's a big bite over there. Trying to, make up ground, though. I mean, essentially, you're watching these X Factor bodies die here, trying to make something happen because of this huge gap in the points. The 3-point spread, now a 4-point spread, as it's 5-1 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. And X Factor dying recklessly moving forward because they have to try to create opportunities. But right now, Russian Legion just playing too tight for them, shooting bodies off the break, really controlling those lanes. They really have mastered this field.
Yeah, X Factor's got to be coming in right now, trying to figure out what it is that they can do, try and get back in this game, get some kills on the break, but Russian Legion really risking only 1 guy every point, and it's Axel, and he's a really hard shot on the break. So
yeah, and looking at Houston Heat's lineup, no Greg Sewers, Ryan Moorhead getting the spin out there for him. He makes a break to the Dorito 1. He makes it clean, which is impressive because Dave Baines was really yelling that to his team.
Both Chad George losing their snake corners.
Yeah, Chad George and Keith Brown, the big killers for both teams, walking off the field right away. Nick Laval up at that center wall, man. He's going to shut down, recognizing right away that the D1 is there. He switches over to the Snake side, but he's going to be a thorn in the side of Heat, no matter what side they have to go to.
And you're looking at Heat on your screen with Laval there on the left-hand side at that center 50. No one in the Snake for either team. The closest guy is Sergey in the stand-up tower, along with looks like Rainey Stanzik for Impact. And there is Sergey, and you see the Heat players in those back bunkers with Fedorov stuck in that back spot. Mishka in the stand-up bunker of death over there on the D side. That the cam, you've seen a lot of guys die out of that spot because of the angles on the Snake side.
Yeah, Justin Rabikoff fills back up out of there on his side. He goes back to the back center, see if he can get with Rainey it's Rainey Stanzik and work a push. Yeah, Rainey Stanzik right there on your screen.
Here comes a big fill from Fedorov as he leapfrogs Sergey over here, but a referee runs in. He might have got clipped as he was sliding in from, I think, Rabakov in the back center bunker.
Yeah, he looks to be clean.
So 4-on-4, 6 minutes and 34 seconds left to go, but Heat, you know, it's all on them right now. Heat has to push forward, down by 3. They're trying to mount an offensive push on the D side, but Ryan Moorhead gets locked up in a gunfight in D2, and he gets shot out. So now just the 3 players, and you know, look for impact. They're not going to give you much here. Oh, wow. Rainey Stanzik, though, dies out of his spot. That's a nice gunfight win there for Sergey.
Yeah, it's going to force Nick Laval now to switch over to the Snake side. And I know Fedorov's just going to be waiting for that opportunity to go. Nick Laval and Justin Rabakov both looking this way at Fedorov at the Snake insert, who he's got Sergey watching over his back. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup right now between Mishka and Alex Goldman in a gunfight. Justin Rabakov going to make that move out to the Snake tower to mirror up Sergey. Right now,
Rabakov going to make a move all the way to Snake 1. He's going to get in there. Fedorov recognizes it. He's going to want to make a move. He comes into Snake 1. Rabakov into Snake 3. Now he can look across the field at Mishka and have Nick Laval protect him. As Edmonton Impact is now looking to make a move into the 50 Dorito. He gets in there alive. Impact. Oh, Alex Goldman on the move. Does he get Mishka?
He does not.
He does not.
It's a big bite. Didn't plan out, or didn't work out for him. But Rabakov able to get over here into the Snake and put pressure on Fedorov. And here comes Sergey. He pushes up. Rabakov trying to shoot at a streaking, is that down the D side at Mishka, and he gets a shot on Mishka and a shot on Sergey as well. So Laval still alive through that madness too, and then Rabakov is going to try to get a shot on Fedorov as Fedorov does a tactical retreat, and then he gets shot out by Laval, and here comes Edmonton Impact.
Justin Rabakov is pumped. He does the Phillip Rivers down the sideline with the leg kick as he and Nick Laval look to be in a dire situation right there, but then Justin Rabakov whips his gun around and shoots the streaking Mishka Knyazev down that Dorito side, then quickly pops up and picks off Sergey, who's coming to get him. Nick Laval spinning around trying to figure out where the bodies are, and then he and Justin Rabakov close out just Konstantin Fedorov to finish that point, put a big win on the board for Edmonton Impact.
I'll tell you what, man. We haven't seen Rabakov in the Snake not one time, so if Rabakov's all the way on this side of the field, something's not necessarily going right for Impact, but still able to get out there, and he's really been the quiet killer for them. Let's check in with Lauren with an update.
Thanks. X Factor is trying to stay confident in their pits. Billy Bernaccia said they don't feel like they're out of this yet. They're just going to take it 1 point at a time and get every point and kill that they can. Back to you guys.
Well, they're going to have to try to get some offense going as the Russians have just been shutting them down. They send Kevin Klum to the center 50. He's going to look Snake side, then launching into Snake 1 is Michael Kovar. Billy Bernaccia is right behind him. Not much ground taken from the Russians here as they're in a defensive posture, and they are able to take out Kovar, and I can see in the pit, Axel Godin is sitting this one as Smotrov gets a spin out there to rest Axel's legs, and as soon as he saw that kill off from Kovar, you can see him, he's pumping his fist in the sky.
Yeah, he's got to be jazzed about that. Michael Kovar, unfortunately, coming around the Snake 1 a little too tall and getting clipped in the pack as Barynikov makes the move from the back center all the way out to the Snake insert. He only has Billy Bernaccia in front of him. He's going to be able to get out to the corner, little scoopy loop. Going from the back center to the Snake insert. Move being made by Golev now into that Dorito 1. Colombo
Really?
over here.
Is scuba loop, is that a technical term?
I think it's a boxing term.
Boxing term?
I heard it once, watching some movie or something.
You got to have quick feet to scoop a loop, man.
Well,
Real in that Snake side tower. Looking
Legion,
at Colt Roberts trying to move down that Dorito side.
say Legion's been scuba looping on X Factor this entire game right now.
See, now you're picking it up, man. You guys are, I know you're new to this. But
Try
come
and
on. Try and keep up with the pace, okay?
I needed to use it in a sentence.
You just don't want to be shot scooping when you're trying to be looping. That's the problem.
Well, so you don't want to flip it. If you loop before you scoop, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, because the loop doesn't always catch on the scoop.
Well, Barynikov head checking towards that D side. He's head checking all over the place, wilding out in the back corner bunker. And here comes Billy Bernaccia trying to close the gap a bit. He gets to Snake 3. He has Colt Roberts alive across the field in D3, trying to pinch out these players for the Russians who are just shooting their guns and trying to take that time off the clock. 2 minutes and 37 seconds left to go here and a 4-point spread. So really the sense of immediacy Real big right now for X Factor as their tournament hopes here at the World Cup are starting to die.
Yeah, Archie Montemayor makes his way up to the wall, then he retreats back.
Sorry, that's Colombo in the Kirill jersey over here on the snake side. He's going to dip into the snake insert bunker. Biernikov going to take over down the wire to make sure Billy Bernaccia doesn't come. A good move by Colombo to go there just as he gets in there and posts up across the field. Colt Roberts tries to make his move into the Dorito and gets chopped up by Colombo. So Russians just trying to hold on and lock down X Factor, not let them come down the field. Under the 2-minute mark now. Looks like just Archie and Billy. Looking at some Russians crossed up. Biernikov not even giving anything, just watching down that line.
Yeah, Coach Ryan Brand going to have to let this one ride out because we're at 1:35 left to go in regulation.
Yeah, he's already pretty much expended those. I mean, you can have as many horn or many talent concessions as you want, but pretty much since Legion took so much time off the clock here in this point, that's pretty much it.
I think Britnikoff is completely out of paint as he was one-handing shooting down the field. He's not even raising. You saw the move being made down the field. He didn't even raise his gun up and shoot at Archie. Archie's trying to step out wide to the tape and get that shot on the Dorito 1 of Golev. He's way off the bunker. Look for Malloy. He's picking up paint off the ground. He's going to probably try and make a move down the tape to take out Britnikoff, or excuse me, Bernaccia.
Archie and Bernaccia are trying to attack, and it looks like Britnikoff finally gets shot out of there as he shot through his pack. No paint left for him. It's just Colombo left and Golev, but Golev gets bunkered out, and then so does Colombo. So Bernaccia and Archie are going to be able to put another point on the board, but with a 3-point spread and 39 seconds left to go, is a penalty thrown?
Yeah, it looks like the ref over here might have thrown a penalty. Not sure. Game streaking off in the center of the field. Not sure if one was thrown. He did. Maybe he just picked his radio up off the ground. I'm not sure. He's chronoing players now. I'm not seeing any discussion by refs, so I got looped.
Should have been scooping.
I told you, man. It's complicated. So there's Coach Ryan Brand calling out his lineup.
20 seconds.
Billy's saying no. His flame has been extinguished.
Houston Heat sending their 5 out. Just saw Moorhead there in the pit. Haven't really seen Moorhead out here on the field.
Well, Moorhead took Sewers' place.
Yeah, last point.
Sewers was getting shut down on the D side, got that penalty, and so they sat Sewers and put Ryan Moorhead out. And then now they're going to get Sewers back out there.
And Fedorov going to get shot on the break. He comes running off from the snake side. So
each team dropping a body.
Yeah, Keith Brown dying. Impact still doubled up in the back center. You can see the match stats right there, the confirmed kills. Sergei Solishnikov doing what he needs to do, getting up to that wall. If he can put that pressure, it looks like he does get a shot there on Nick Laval. He does. Nice shot through the wall window. Take out Nick Laval in the back center. So now 1 body advantage for Heat, Chad George.
Yeah, you notice with those kill totals, those same 3 guys we've been talking about, Laval, Brown, and Goldman over there now have 16 of the 30 potential kills on the board. So those 3 guys getting half your team's kills. 1 guy going out each side of the field, just getting it done over here. It's the reason why they have a 5-1 lead. 4 minutes left over Heat.
Yeah, and Heat, if they don't win this one, might as well call it. And it looks like, and they got to win it quick. And a nice shot there on Rabikov, and then here comes, looks like Sewers got shot. There's 1 body left alive over there, and it is Goldman. Goldman shoots a bunch of bodies from Heat, but Chad George is still alive. So it's a good thing that Chad George had his wits about him, as Heat, having to push forward and close this point spread down as quick as they can. Dropping the ball, lost Goldman out there. Goldman shoots 2 bodies, but Chad George alive to go and hit that buzzer.
Yeah, Mishko alive as well at the end of that point. But yeah, Goldman taking out 2 players with him in Sergei Schlichnikov and Greg Sewers. So again, just because there's 1 guy left doesn't mean he can't do the damage.
You only need 1 left alive to hit that buzzer.
Or shoot it.
Oh shit. Chad George rips his loader off. Must have broken some paint in there.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little yellow on the inside of that loader again with this paint. Things warming up a little bit cooler this morning. We were talking about Dynasty, maybe having some paint issues. But that fragile paint, Chad George not one to just go lightly into any position. Diving around, might have had some balls break inside of his loader.
10 seconds.
Looking on the kill count right there.
Colombo just murdering people.
Double
10
digits.
kills.
What could be the last point of this game, because X Factor is going to have to go and not stop going, and they are. Not getting any kills on the break, but getting in good positions. Unfortunately, already at the 30-second mark here.
Oh, Bjernikov just got shot in the goggles from Goff. Goff looking to launch down the middle of the field, trying to get a shot on the Dorito side. Does he get one? They shoot Colombo out.
They shoot Klum out too. Kevin,
Penalty.
and a bad penalty going to be assessed on
The Russian Legion, but one player left alive. Look at
Yeah,
this,
Polyakov is still alive over there.
He just gets shot by Archie, so unfortunately.
7 seconds left. They're going to put a point on the board, but just not going to be enough here for X Factor.
And it's tough, you know, it's so close out there, and it ends up being, you know, at that point, as soon as you see the point go up, it's a 2-point spread. But
that
it's
point
not
spread,
enough.
Yeah, that point spread determines, you know, the difference between third and fourth, right? Yeah,
No.
so.
Kovar getting checked out right now. They're looking at his pack. This will be the first time we've had, I think, a dirty hang. Looks like they're going to give it to him.
Point approved.
So point approved. Score will be 5-3. But with 7 seconds left, that game is over.
Yeah, the game's over. So punching their ticket on to the finals here at the World Cup. Russian Legion.
30 seconds.
You can see a dejected X Factor here in their pits, and there is Michael Kovar. You want to talk about a man who left it all out there on the field this
20
weekend?
seconds.
That's Michael Kovar. I mean, the whole team really did. They had a good run of it, but unfortunately for X Factor, they met a Russian Legion team that, you know, just a little bit better than them today.
Yeah, no doubt. Better than a lot of almost every team all weekend that they've come up against. I don't think they've lost a game, but they did lose a game to Heat. Breakout, Keith Brown streaking out to the snake insert. Nick Laval already up at the wall. Alex Goldman getting shot. Mishka getting shot. Ref running in to check out Greg Sewers. He's in the Dorito too. If he's hit, that could be a penalty. Ref scouring him over. He looks to be clean. Fedorov now fills out to back up Greg Sewers.
So if he can win this point, this is still a game. 3 minutes and 21 seconds left to go.
They can win it quickly, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If they can win it quickly. They have to win it in the next, I'd say, maybe 45 seconds. And a fill across. And it looks like Konstantin Fedorov is good to go.
Chad George looking to get into the snake. Pops up, shoots a stream, and gets it in there.
Yeah, and Chad George has got to go. Now they're going to let Keith Brown fill into the snake one, and that's definitely going to put a damper on this snake side. And I think the big thing here that I'm surprised that we're not seeing is any moves up the middle to shut down Nick Laval. I mean, if I'm Heat and I'm seeing Nick Laval going out there every point, if that's a body I know I can get by just running up there and trading out with him, I'm going to do it. And I want to send another body up there to take my teammate's place. Konstantin Fedorov fills out to Dorito corner. Sergey's over the top.
But, you know, Impact doing a good job of grinding this time down right now as they get Brown in snake one. That's going to slow things down a bit here for Chad George and Fedorov behind him. Sorry, Sergey behind him.
Yeah, and you know, Chad George has to contend with Nick Laval up at the wall, and Nick Laval's backed up by Justin Rabikoff, who's looking crossfield to Dorito 3. But that move by Nick Laval switches over. Craig Sewers gets shot crossfield from Rainey Stanzik in the back center. Sergey now going to go up the middle. He heard that Godzilla call. He's going to put pressure on Keith Brown. And if he can preserve his body.
Sergey just cutting through the center of the field.
Yeah, both
looking
players.
for bodies. Yeah, takes out Laval, but has to trade his body to do so. And Chad George gets mobile. Here, Snakeside might have got shot cross field by Rabikoff. Rabikoff trying to get the ref in there to make that call, or what he thinks should be a call. But Chad George is fine, so maybe he bounced him or missed him. But Chad George alive regardless here in the Snake for Houston Heat.
Look at that, Keith Brown getting shot. I don't know where that ball came from. That was from Fedorov across the field. That was one heck of a shot. Now Chad George and Justin Rabikoff are parallel with each other.
Yeah, well, whoever shot him definitely just saved Chad George's life, because Justin Rabikoff moving up had the drop on him. Now Chad George comes on the impact side of the field. Rainey Stanzak didn't know he was there, picked him up now. Chad George figured out where Rainey is. He's going to make the move down the inside, and it looks like Rainey's going to come out unscathed, and Chad George goes running off the field.
Yeah,
so
but who's still alive on the D side to go and try to hit that buzzer is Justin Rabikoff.
Yeah, and Justin Rabikoff takes out Fedorov
Point
in a
approved.
one-on-one battle. So I say we've seen the end of both these matches, and it looks like we're going to have an Edmonton Impact Red Legion final.
Yeah, doesn't look like we're going to see Fedorov in the finals this year,
And I think
30 seconds.
but Edmonton Impact, whew, these guys are playing well.
Yeah, there
They
is
are.
no chink in the armor of Edmonton
20
Impact right now.
seconds.
They're running with that starting 5 crew, and every single one of those guys are getting big contributions. You know, look at how well that Rabakov's playing the 2 on that D side of the field, and he saved a couple points out here. Laval is a wrecking machine up in that center of the field. Keith Brown is just absolutely stunning here on the Snake side. It looks like no packs are on here. No one has a pack on for X Factor. They lose one, trying to get to the 50. Here comes Colt Roberts. No one's touched Colt Roberts yet. He comes through and shoots Britnikoff on the run, but it doesn't matter. So a valiant effort from the boys from Texas, but they are going to be going home.
Biernikov is pumped up out here, and he should be the way that he's played all weekend. There's Colt Roberts. Man, Colt Roberts fought hard all weekend as well. They were feeling good after that infamous game, but the Russian Legion had their number here this afternoon, and Russian Legion, for the first time in a while, going to be going back to the finals of World Cup.
And how you really have to give them the respect that's due. I mean, yes, they have to play the best team in the world right now in Edmonton Impact, but it's taken them a long time to try to rebuild that squad. They lost a bunch of their core guys. We didn't know if they were going to be able to do it, but they were finally now able to rebuild that team and get good enough to start contending for wins out here. And we knew it was going to happen eventually, or that they had a potential to happen eventually.
1 minute.
Didn't know how long it was going to take. But I also think it's an interesting story that they really went away from using any of the young guys out here, and it's just been the veterans proving it themselves. And man, how amazing has Colombo been playing this weekend?
Colombo is
Lights
the kill
out.
count leader in that match right there.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest matches of the weekend. Colombo really stepped up and put his team on his back, shooting people on the break from that back center, then making moves up into that wall, and being real Nick Laval-ish. You know, it's going to be a nice matchup to see
30 seconds.
Laval and Colombo, what happens between those two guys in that final game.
Yeah, that is a good point. It does very much sometimes come down to, you know, who's
20
battling
seconds.
who's matched up against who. Every sport it's that way. Pitchers and batters in baseball, cornerbacks and wide receivers in football, basketball, same situation there. Paintball's no different, man. It's all about matchups, and what a great matchup we have here for the finals. So just a couple more minutes to get through here. Or actually only one more minute to get through before we congratulate Impact on another finals finish. So that's 5 events in a row, every single NXL event we've had this year, Impact has been in the finals.
Yeah, well, they're definitely there for a reason.
Yeah, only 2 players left alive for Impact. That's Nick Laval and Zach Yakimak over here. Only 1 player, just Sergey, the lone soldier. Look at this, a penalty, I think. Yeah, minor penalty. That's going to pull out the last 2 players. Oh, no one left alive as Sergey dies. Oh, look at that. Good call by our crew is Zane Yakimak. I don't even know where he came from. He survives the chaos. He just comes strolling through the field. That's going to do it. As the time is ticking off the clock, not even going to bother to hit the buzzer as a dejected Greg Sewers walks off the field.
Yeah, so another frustrating go of it for Houston Heat as that game finishes. And Impact, yet again in the finals, 5 events in a row. So, yeah, you know, Houston Heat just didn't have the answer for Impact here, as they played them twice at this event, lost both those games. This one not nearly as close as the very first game of the professional, in the prelims, the professional prelims. We saw Heat play Impact, and that one Impact won that game, but they only won it by 1. And this game really wasn't that close.
No, not at all. Impact came to play, man. It's Sunday Paintball. It's not the first game of the event. And, I mean, just the way that they played here is the same way they played against us at practice 2 weeks ago. Just Keith Brown making very smart launches, looking, nobody knows where he's at, getting tons of kills. Nick Laval shooting people on the break, making those moves up. And Alex Goldman over there on that Dorito side. I mean, Alex Goldman could have walked off, and Justin Cornell could have walked in and just been dominant on that side as well. They got weapons that they haven't even bothered to pull out and unleash yet. You know, they're just playing so well. And again, it really always comes down to that communication. You know, these guys always know what everything is going on the field. They're talented enough to be able to recover and you know, even up the disadvantages. And you know, just a very well coached, very well run organization. And all the players on that team are playing at a high level right now, and they're going to be tough to stop. But that Russian Legion team, that should be a good matchup here.
Well, the question with Impact is because they've been doing so well when you're at the top of the mountain, there's two things there. One, everyone's trying to take you down. And two, it's hard to keep that mental strength and that focus for that long.
Yeah.
Eventually, the desire tends to wane when you have achieved what you wanted to achieve, and they've already achieved what they set out to do when they founded that team. So how long can you keep it going? And it really looks like Impact wants to come out and win this game. I mean, that team looks hungry still, and also the Russians look very hungry too. So there it is on your screen as we've seen in the quarterfinals. Dynasty gets knocked out by Houston Heat. They move on. You can see AC Dallas, they didn't have an answer for Impact. No one's really had an answer for Impact. Tampa Bay Damage got knocked out by Red Legion. And then X Factor taking down Infamous, and then we just watched the semis. So the final is set. But before we get to that this afternoon, we have the finals in the divisional ranks here. See who we're going to crown some more World Cup champions across all the divisions. Before we get to a very short break, let's check in with Lauren.
I am here with Kirill Peridny. Congratulations on that semifinals win against X Factor. Coming into that match, Axel told me he was pretty nervous. Obviously, you guys have been visualizing this World Cup win. How were you feeling coming into that match against X Factor?
I was 100% calm because, like, we knew that we had a couple of troubles back in the prelims. We had a chance to practice our skills against Heat, against the powerhouse team. And we knew exactly what we need to do. We proved it in a game against Damage, and we knew that X Factor, they're just fantastic about firing off the break. We just need to avoid this fire and give them a hard times to invite them to come on our land, and that's perfectly worked for us.
We thought you looked extremely strong during prelims. What kind of troubles were you seeing that you guys needed to fix?
Well, it's a high-level tournament game when you need to be able to play longest points out. Yeah, when you're low in bodies, they're low in bodies, and here's the World Cup paintball is coming. Yeah, when you need to realize where your buddies, where they are, collect the information, be smart, be vigilant, manage to make the moves on time, perfect on time, don't make it stupid come-outs, don't make it stupid duels. You see what a mixture, yeah, of abilities you must have to be in here. And that's the thing that not all of our guys are having, yeah, but we teaching those young kids in here and showing them how it is supposed to be done.
It's a different story here on day 3 than it was on day 2. We saw tons of overtime points and really close matches yesterday and on Friday. Today, it's pretty much been blowout games. Yours was almost a blowout game. They came back a little bit, but what do you think is causing that change?
It's just the brackets. I believe some teams got kind of hard brackets, but in the end those were not so hard brackets, and then coming out to the winners of another brackets, here's the surprise came for some of the teams out here for sure.
All right, well, you'll be going up against Impact in the finals. Last quick question, you said you thought Dynasty and Heat had that magic. They were hard for you. Impact, do you think that they have that magic too?
Definitely. They have so many guys who been the World Cup champions so many times. They are magic by themselves.
All right, well, we will see Impact and Moscow Red Legion battle it out for first and second. Back to you, Maddie.
Well, that's an honest man right there, because, yeah, if they want it, they need to take it from the best team in the world and prove themselves yet again and reestablish that franchise. They look very close. So we have about a 55-minute break. Also want to let you guys know that there's a new paintball magazine out. It's called Paintball Media. It's going to be coming out on, I think, a quarterly basis, at least to start out with. So definitely head to paintball.media and order your copy. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get a quick look here at the rest of the schedule here for Sunday competition, the day that you play paintball, you want to be playing on Sunday. So we have the semis and the quarters that have just finished here in the professional division. So still to come, D4 X-Ball Finals, D3, 2, Semi-Pro, and then the game we're all waiting for. It's going to be Russian Legion taking on Impact here, 2016 NXL World Cup. I'm Matty Marshall with Nick Sloviak and Todd Martinez. Stick with us.